Hey guys, this video is about playpens as a living environment for rabbits. We recently put our rabbit Timmy downstairs in a playpen and it has been working pretty well for us. The playpen itself is a good amount of space and he went there because it is too hot upstairs currently and he was refusing to drink his water, a heat wave. You see, you could argue that rabbits should be in a room where they have more space than a playpen, but here's the thing. There's certain circumstances where it might be a better option than being free-roamed in a room, and I'll explain how and why. 1. Sometimes there might not be enough people around during the day or that are able to pick up the rabbit. Additionally, when you have your rabbit in your front room, it could lead to an array of dangerous situations and potential incidents. You risk them escaping, especially when you have to bring bags of shopping in, for instance, and leave the door open, chewing cords, or ingesting something they shouldn't. Of course, some of these things are much easier to prevent than others with the right precautions in place, but the point still stands. It makes life a lot easier for the owner. A playpen pretty much provides and ensures a safe and secure environment where you can pretty much be reassured that your rabbit is practically safe from danger. Also known as household hazards as the more technical term. Yes, things can happen, slip through the cracks and be dangerous for your rabbit, but it is much easier to monitor their well-being and general behavior in a more contained space like this, which makes it much easier to tell if something is off and notice signs of illness early on. 2. Playpens can make cleaning up a lot easier, as it helps it all stay contained. You can clean up any outstanding mess with a hoover, making the process much more easy and quick, especially when you consider how messy rabbits can be with hay and droppings. By using a playpen, you can have a good setup of materials that are relatively easy to clean, like mats and rugs, that can also be cleaned every now and again to maintain hygiene. Additionally, having a good spot within the playpen to place the litter box can make the mess, routine, and responsibility from the owners more manageable. In our case, we put Timmy's litter box in one of the corners of the playpen, not in the middle or something. 3. Setting up a playpen. Our current playpen setup is quite big and spacious. It includes a soft surface in the middle to sit on, a mat, a food bowl, a water bowl, a cat house, a tunnel, a wood house, and a litter box, all fitting comfortably in one space. Consider adding items that provide entertainment and can easily be rotated to keep things fresh. Just make sure the environment enriches your rabbit's life and meets their needs and general requirements. 4. How to make sure the playpen is done and set up correctly to ensure long-term success and fulfillment for your rabbit is to do a few things. You need to make sure that the playpen is a good amount of space, but also not to shove an unnecessary amount of things in this space. Provide everything that is necessary, and if the playpen is placed somewhere that might not have the greatest sunlight, such as the basement in my case, it may be wise to turn at least one of the lights on close to their playpen, especially if they spend a good amount of time without you, as they could get depressed if there is not enough light. 5. This point will be more personal to us and Timmy. How things have changed since he has been moved downstairs in a playpen for a week has been significantly noticeable. For instance, it's easier to focus on things to get done whilst also giving him sufficient attention, a good balance. You see, it's quite easy to forget to close the gate, and before you know it, he's at the other side of our house. But it's been pretty convenient for us that we haven't had to worry about that as of late. This all leads back to the more broad point that having to give up a room, especially your living room or front room, can be quite a commitment, but you can still provide meaningful and good care to your rabbit in a good sized playpen, which is ultimately convenient for you as an owner. 6. Having a good place to set up the playpen is crucial and very important because of temperatures, and if a heat wave occurs, the most preferred and easy way to set up and put a playpen is in the basement, as it has a more cool temperature, which comes in handy and convenient during warm weather. A basement could also offer a more quiet, but not necessarily isolated space if you spend a good amount of time with them in their playpen. Matter of fact, I'm actually writing this part of the script right now on my laptop while sitting in Timmy's playpen. Being in a more quiet environment could also alleviate some stress from constantly being around lots of people in a household in one room. However, I would argue that this should not be a criticism. Depending on the context, it can be beneficial to rabbits to be around a lot of people, and if the people in their household were already stressful to be around, going in the basement or a more quiet area probably won't change too much in this regard. Just something to consider. Rabbits have very good hearing. While a basement is more preferred and arguably practical, there are still other suitable options for the same thing. Pretty much any quiet room, such as a spare bedroom or a corner of the living room, even as long as it's away from direct sunlight. Make sure that your rabbit doesn't feel claustrophobic and tight in whatever space you choose. And make sure to turn at least some of the lights on when it gets dark if you go to bed late like me. If possible, perhaps put the playpen in an area that is easier to clean afterwards and have a good amount of space around it as well. If anyone watching this video has experience with playpen setups that I forgot to mention, feel free to let me know in the comments, and if I got any information wrong, also feel free to also correct me in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, and bye!
So this is the setup of the playpen. It is very, very big, as you can see, a good amount of space. It's not enclosed, and as you can see, Timmy's over there. There's not much in his food bowl right now. That's because it's kind of late in the day now, and he's already eaten his food for the day. But trust me, there's usually a fair amount in here. I know there's a little in here right now. And then his water bowl's right here. I refill that every day. And also, to put a cherry on top of the cake, I tend to dump the water into the plants that we have upstairs, which is probably better than dumping it down the sink environmental wise. We have these seats of comfort right here, and this is pretty convenient. You know, if someone goes in here, it makes it easier to sit down and pet him, and he seems to appreciate that. Sometimes you can like stretch over and sit down and then kind of just about reach him, and yeah, it works pretty well. And I think even if you're just looking at your phone and not necessarily like actively engaging with him, it's still a way to provide human interaction to him. So it's still efficient. Sometimes he isn't always wanting to interact with me or other people, but he still appreciates us being there, so that's good. But regardless, he's doing quite well in this environment. He's in our basement, and let's look at it from this angle. We have his cat house. He likes it here. And he's got his litter box right there. And yeah, it's a bit messy right now. We're going to hoover it pretty soon, I think. Don't let that throw you off too much. But yeah, it seems to be pretty good. It's a little bit controversial. There's some people that would argue that no matter what, you shouldn't keep your rabbit in a playpen no matter the size. But I think that the size does make a difference. I think that Timmy is doing way better here compared to if it was a small playpen. And he seems to be pretty happy. I know he's not looking like super engaged right now because it's like later in the day, but he usually runs around and, you know, clearly shows excitement. So you gotta take my word on that. And also the video footage that I include in my videos sometimes. So I'm gonna go in the playpen. I just got a new SD card. And yeah, the previous SD card I had, I've been using for like 10 years or something, so it wasn't really working on my laptop to import videos and photos, but now it's working pretty well, and also it's HD quality, so I don't know if that necessarily makes a difference with my camera or not. Oh, here we go. See, I sit down and now he's going over here. See, sometimes he doesn't necessarily engage with you unless you go into the playpen. But regardless, it's still working pretty well. He's got his tube here as well, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, that's the end of this segment. I usually don't talk behind the camera and actually intend on ever including it. So now he's in his litter box. And yep, here's it's a good living environment for sure. So